Good morning and welcome to Infowar.co's second podcast. Today is September 2nd, 2010. I'm going to go over this week's news. Environmental militant killed by police at Discovery Channel headquarters. A radical environmentalist who took 3 hostages at Discovery Channel headquarters while wearing what police say may have been explosives was shot and killed by officers, police said. Here's Alex on that.
And a lone nut Malthusian eugenicist environmentalist named James J. Lee, of course, has taken over with a firearm and reportedly may have explosives the Maryland-based offices of the Discovery Channel. He's been protesting them on and off, according to his own website, for more than 2 years. He said that after he saw an inconvenient truth by Al Gore that he felt that he had to do this, when Al Gore is openly invested in carbon credits that were developed by Enron and Ken Lay and people like Bernie Madoff on record with Al Gore.
It's a great 8-minute video from Mr. Jones. Please check it out. Recently, the Rockefeller depopulation plans have been exposed. This is a great collection of articles and quotes from the Rockefeller Foundation and David Rockefeller. Here's a clip on how he feels that there's too many of you.
The negative impact of population growth on all of our planetary ecosystems is becoming appallingly evident.
So, how do you control population growth? National Security Study Memorandum Document 200 from Henry Kissinger in 1979 states that you can control population through war, famine, and poison. Well, they're poisoning our water supply. They're controlling the wars and funding both sides of them. They've been doing that all the way back. And famine, of course, you know, they're destroying food supplies, destroying the nutritional attributes of the food, and it causes terrible health conditions. And then they crash the economy, so then the lower class gets even poorer. They can't feed their kids. And this is not a third world country. This is the United States I'm talking about. I'm talking about London. I'm talking about the major cities all around the world. The third world countries are doing much worse. This is a great article from a West Palm Beach doctor, Jim Medlock, DDS, called Fluoride and Poisoning of America's Water. I recently contacted him for an interview, so we'll keep you posted on that. Fluoride is one of the most toxic substances known. There is no evidence whatsoever to support any beneficial effects of water fluoridation, and much evidence of its dangers. Right now we're actually doing a fluoride sticker fund. You can donate here at Infowar.co. We also have links on our MySpace page and Facebook as well. You can donate as much as you want, as little as you can, and if you donate $10 or more, you get 200 of these warning contains fluoride stickers. They're going to be vinyl, 1 inch by 1 inch. And if you donate more than $30, you'll get 200 stickers, a government-sponsored terrorism t-shirt that we recently started printing. These are great t-shirts. It's a mock-up of the actual FEMA document. Climate change, a failed attempt to establish a scientific dictatorship. This is actually from Fox News, believe it or not.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Politicians around the world cite its work to support their hysterical claims, but how did this panel come into being, and how objective is its science?
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2007 is to be shared between the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and Al Gore Jr. for their efforts to build up and disseminate greater knowledge about man-made climate change.
The International Panel on Climate Change, known as the IPCC, founded by the United Nations in 1988. Now, its findings have been used to justify some of the most extreme claims about global warming. But how did this group become so influential? Contrary to its portrayals in the mainstream media, the IPCC conducts no scientific research. Rather, it was founded to promote international climate agreements.
It was chartered to support a possible future climate treaty. so that's what they do.
To understand the radical approach of the IPCC, all you need to do is look at its inspiration, the controversial UN bureaucrat Sir Maurice Strong.
Mr. Strong, what do you want to achieve in this trip?
It all began in the mind of one ambitious, very rich civil servant who was one of the faction of the UN that has always hoped every 3 months.
When the second assessment report was published in 1995, all of the uncertainty about how much humans have actually contributed to global warming was removed.
The copy that came out after peer review was stopped said, the balance of evidence suggests there's a discernible human influence on global climate. It was changed after the peer review process.
Errors in the IPCC's most recent report, published in 2007, seem almost amateurish.
I definitely watched this entire 7-minute video. It's amazing that Fox News is actually doing this. Of course, it's because of strong pressure from the people and alternative media. So keep up what you're doing, bloggers and independent media, newspapers and zines, because it's working. We're putting pressure on them. That's why they infiltrated the Tea Party, and they're doing everything they can to create legitimacy for themselves when they have, been exposed as controlled media. In technology news, hacking terrorist networks logically and emotionally at Hope.
And it's much. This is actually the truth. If you friggin' make a video of like somebody just died and took a picture of his dead video, of a dead image, and put a star on it and all this happy music and shit, they love it. They will eat this up. Dude. And you'll get so many rep points on the forums.
So the point of this lecture is, of course, a bit of humor, but James is actually, an expert on hacking and using social engineering to gain access, unauthorized access to terrorist networks for information. His work actually has been used by federal agencies legitimately to look up and find a real terrorist activity, and it's kind of fun to do, so check into that. U.S. schools grooming students for surveillance state. This is from Pogo is Right. The increased use of student surveillance and intrusion of school districts into students' extracurricular conduct should be an alarm to us all. Whether the districts surveilling students in their bedrooms via webcam, conducting random drug or locker searches, strip searches of students, lowering standards for the students' reasonable suspicion from probable cause, disciplining students for conduct outside of school hours, searching their cell phones and text messages, or allegedly forcing them to undergo pregnancy testing, student privacy is increasingly threatened. And to close out today, this awesome video from a valedictorian speaking out against her schooling.
I'm now accomplishing that goal. I am graduating. I should look at this as a positive experience, especially being at the top of my class. However, in retrospect, I cannot say that I'm any more intelligent than my peers. I can attest that I am only the best at doing what I'm told. Here I stand, and I'm supposed to be proud that I've completed this period of indoctrination. I will leave in the fall, and I will go on to the next phase expected of me in order to receive a paper document that certifies that I'm capable of work. But I contest that I'm a human being, not just a worker. I'm a thinker, an adventurer. A worker is someone who is trapped within repetition, a slave of the system set up before him. But now I have successfully shown that I was the best slave. I did what I was told to the extreme. While others sat in class and doodled to later become great artists, I sat in class to take notes to become a great test taker. While others would come to class without their homework done because they were reading about an interest of theirs, I never missed an assignment.
One great passage from this speech is the aim of public education is not to spread enlightenment to all. It is simply to reduce as many individuals as possible to the same safe level. That concludes this week in review from Infowar.co. Check us out on the web and on the social networks, and we'll see you next week.